Alright people, so welcome back to week 10 of term 1. Week 10 goes from the 6th of April to the 10th of April. This is week 10. This video will actually cover all of week 10. So when I give you work here, you don't have to do all of it in one day. You can break it up over 4 hours of work over the whole week. Alright, so we're going to start with maths. That's going to be from chapter 7. Okay? Now, the unit that we use to measure mass is what we call the gram. Right, not the Instagram, because that's probably what you're on right now as you're watching this video, but that's okay because you're at home. But it's talking about the weight. So it's the gram is the unit of mass that we use to measure. Okay? Now obviously there are things that are really heavy and there are things that are quite light. So we can have different versions of the gram, not like Instagram, but have a listen here. So we use G for the gram and kg for the kilogram. And there's a smaller one. This is actually what we call a milligram. It's a small m and a small g. That's called a milligram. And then we have what we call the ton. Okay, so these are the 4 things that we're going to use, and I'll show you how to get through and divide them or multiply them. So we'll start over here with the gram, and then we'll put mg over here, we'll put kg over there, and we'll put t over there. Alright, so let's do some arrowheads. So to go from the gram to milligrams, okay, just like that. Well, this is actually 1,000 grams. So to go from the gram to the milligram, we're going to multiply it by 1,000. Okay? To go from kilogram to grams, once again, a kilo means 1,000. So we're going to multiply our unit by 1,000. And then we got our tons into our kilogram, and 1 ton is actually 1,000 kilograms. So when we work backwards, we do the exact same number except for one very small thing, right? And that's, we change to multiply to a divide. Just like that. Okay? So let's do some examples. Example 1. Let's do convert 750 grams to kilograms. Well, let's look at where we are. We're right now, we're at the grams, and we want to go to kilograms. So we need to use the arrow that brings us to kilograms. In this case, is divided by 1,000. So we're going to go 750 divided by 1,000, and that's going to give us 0.75 kilograms. Ooh, I forgot, guys. Let's add one very small thing. Now, I know that we don't use pounds because pounds is an American word, but just for your information, 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. Okay, 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. So we're going to use that in example 2. Convert 8.5 kilograms to pounds. So we know that 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So how do I get to pounds? Well, I've got to multiply because there are more pounds for 1 kilogram. So I'm going to go 8.5 times by 2.2. And that's going to give me, right, that's going to give me 18.7 pounds. Okay, well this is all of chapter 7. So this is all of 7.01. Okay. For the new book, it's page 171 to 172. For the old textbook, it's page 168 to 169. Okay, so this is all of 7.01. Now I would pause the video or maybe come back to it after you finish 7.01. Alright, so we're now going to move on to 7.2, and look what I have here. Oh, look at this. It's a giant Toblerone chocolate block. Swiss milk chocolate with honey and almond crunch. Wait, nougat. Mmm, yummy. Alright, now, legally, every single packaged goods needs to have this box here. Right, it's the nutrition information. Alright, so I'm going to just leave it there for now. I might leave it up like that, just so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Put something there. Perfect. Okay, so. Oh, not good. There we go. Alright. So you can see that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the nutrition information for our next video, and that's 7.02. Or in other words, what's in our food. That's your title for your second lesson. This is lesson number 2. Alright, so we want to talk about the nutrition information. So let's zoom in here so you can see exactly what's happening. Alright. So we got the servings per package, we got the serving size, and we got the average quantity per serving. We got the percentage of daily intake per serving, and then we got the average quantity per 100 grams. What does this all mean? Well, let's start with this first column there. Average quantity per serving. What is this? So for one serve, remember, this whole big huge block has 11 serves. Only for one of them you have an energy of 726 kilojoules. You have 1.8 grams of protein, so not a lot of protein there. Lots of fat though, 9.7 grams of fat, and 5.9 of those are saturated. Lots of carbohydrates, 19.8 carbohydrates, and 19.5 of those carbohydrates are sugars. Yes, people, sugar is a type of carbohydrate. And then you have 19 milligrams of sodium. Okay, these percentages are the percentages that you need of each of these nutrients day. Okay, and this is the same thing as that, but per 100 grams. Remember, each serving size only has 32.7 grams, so it's one peak, so it's one triangle. Okay, so let's answer some questions about the nutrition information from here. Okay, so we'll leave that there, and we'll answer some questions about that. So question A. So we got Toblerone question. Toblerone questions. First one, how many grams of chocolate does the whole bar contain? To the whole bar. Well, it says over here that we have 11 servings, and each of those servings is 32.7. So by right, 11 servings times 32.7 should give us the total weight. So let's do that now. You can use your handy dandy calculator. 11 times 32.7, and that'll give you 359.7 grams. Well, let's just turn around this box over here. Ooh, look at that. That number is very, very close to that number. In fact, I think this is the correct number, and they just rounded that one up to the nearest whole. Anyway, let's move on. That's question 1. Okay. Now for question 2, I'll just move this up a little bit. There you go. Oops. Trying to put that in. So for question 2, we have how many servings do I need to eat to fill my daily intake? My daily intake for sugars. Right, so there is a guide on how much sugar you should eat every day, and if you go over this, then obviously you're being quite unhealthy. So let's find out how many servings of this are we allowed to eat. Okay? Well, let's see. Each serving has 22%. So each serving has 22% of my daily intake. So how many servings do I need to make it to 100? So basically, how many servings do I need to get 100%? Or as they say, how now? Okay. Well, let's see. You've got 100 divide 22. You may also use your handy dandy calculator. You get 4.54 recurring. Okay, 4.54 recurring. So if I eat 4 servings, I won't get 100%, but if I eat 5 servings, I'll get too many. Now, but the question says, how many servings do I need to eat to fill my daily intake? So I need to eat 5 servings of Toblerone. Now, if I eat more, I go over, but if I eat less, I go under. So only 5 servings. Now, would you probably, in real life, would you probably only eat 5? You probably eat the whole thing. Really bad for you, by the way, as we just saw. Only 5 is good. Anything more, maybe wait for tomorrow, right? Alright, so this is all of chapter 7.2. And the textbook work here is going to be on page 176 to 178. This is for the new book. And for the old book, we have page 172 to 174. This is the old book. Okay, I'll end the video here, and I'll do the next few bits of the chapters in another video. Thanks, guys.